And we continue that GOAT talk with my guy Ryan here, checking in on HQ. And Ryan, I'm curious, that news coming out this morning by Tom Brady himself on Twitter. Where were you when this came out, and did you believe it at that time?
I was getting the kids ready for breakfast in school, and I did believe it. I mean, when you see that video, he's incredibly emotional, and it kind of catches him. And I remember retiring myself. It kind of catches you saying the words out loud, hey, I'm done. But he was down by the beach. And it was something where he was being clear, being quick. And I love that he said you only get one retirement letter, so I'm going to make this short. But congratulations to Tom Brady. What an amazing career. And I'm happy for him. Retirement's a lot better, Brandon, than going into the facility every day at 7 a.m. You know, yes, you get to compete for a championship, but you get free time, something Tom Brady hasn't had for over 20 years.
Brian, I'm curious, too, because you had a chance to play alongside some great ones. It's been Roethlisberger, Peyton Manning, of course, there, that Super Bowl we saw with the Broncos. What separated him from those? Of course, we know the numbers, but let's start from up here. What separated him from those?
Well, he was willing to know everybody on his team, and talking to multiple players that play with him through different teams, different championships. And one guy I know was a practice squad member, and Tom Brady came over and introduced himself on the first day. You don't have to do that. And think about this. He was the best in just one season going to Tampa Bay. To do it right away, that's unheard of. Even with Peyton Manning, it took him a couple of years to win the Super Bowl at the Broncos. Ben Roethlisberger wasn't able to go back after winning his last one. So for Tom Brady to just establish dominance while being a great teammate. Hello to everybody who thinks being great matters most. No, you have to be a great teammate. That's what made Tom Brady different. That's why we know Julian Edelman, Rob Gronkowski. That's why we know about the teams that the Patriots had over the years. He was different. And one quick story, Brandon, when we were in college with Charlie Weiss, his offensive coordinator, Charlie Weiss said on that final drive, he had drawn up a play for Tom Brady, and the guy was open. And Tom Brady threw it away. Tom Brady jogged over, and Charlie Weiss and his New Jersey self said, "What the bleep are you doing?" He said, "Coach, he was open, but we would have had to waste a timeout. What's the play?" So he was thinking a mile ahead of even his offensive coordinator in his first Super Bowl. Those are all examples of how Tom Brady is different.
Our good friend LeJay Douzeville broke it down for us. When we had games against CB12, there was extra preparation there on the defensive side. I'm curious for you, watching him on the opposing sideline, what was that like? Because we get the fan perspective, seeing it on TV, but you down on the field, what was that like for you to watch him work?
Well, the sound, first of all, right? The sparkling helmet, and then you actually hear Tom Brady speaking. And he would say things like, we've got a mismatch here. He would call out his play all the time on different guys. He would call out, hey, 54 is a great win for us, and then throw the ball against number 54. In addition to how prepared he was, he competed better than anybody else in the NFL. And every player who played against him or a team that he was on could tell you that. One of the things people miss is how deep he competes and how he takes disrespect at a high level from anybody he plays against. So it's amazing. It was amazing just to hear his words, but also to see how he would call out the game and make it a game within the game with his opponents who he was getting ready to embarrass.
You mentioned the connection there with your teammates is the one reason why he has 7 Super Bowl rings, but it's very hard for a quarterback to go to a totally different organization, especially after spending 20 years in one location, going to Tampa Bay and winning a Super Bowl. From the outside looking in, talk about maybe the difficulties, because Peyton did that for you guys in Denver, but how he was able to kind of make you seem that seamlessly a little bit for them.
Well, he teaches guys how to practice, and he allowed Leonard Fournette to become his best ever, and he really just gave guys a chance. One of the things, Brandon, that happens as players when you get a top-tier quality guy, I mean, you're running more plays in practices, but also the balls that he throws are giving guys a chance to where maybe you weren't open. Maybe that's a high ball, but I think you're an athlete. Are you going to tell me you're not athletic enough to go up and get it? Those are the kinds of plays that he would make in practice. Those are the things that Ben Roethlisberger and Peyton Manning would do in practice. It's not just about on Sundays. It's about, hey, I'm going to give you a chance in the front pylon. Can you do it? What athlete's going to say no? But then also being able to enjoy it. I think one of the things that as football players, you really get lost sometimes in winning is you got to win, you got to win, you got to win. But this man threw a football from a boat to another boat. This man had to be carried away from a party, and we couldn't say anything against it, right? I mean, he had fun, and no matter what you do, where you are, You have to have fun when you're winning. And in addition to being the best on the field, Tom Brady was the best at having fun, too.
You talk about, I want to look at Ryan Jensen because he tweeted out talking about Tom Brady saying, "Thank you for pushing me every day this season, mentally and physically, to get back on the field." He did so in that final game, even though it was a loss to the Cowboys. How important is that connection to an O-lineman and quarterback? Because we see it a lot this season where he was jawing at those guys, but of course it's to kind of boost them up throughout the game.
Well, that's what you need. It takes intensity to win, and it's a choice to win ultimately in the NFL, especially when you get to the playoffs. Are you going to focus on the details? Are you going to give yourself the opportunity to win the game? And I can tell you from playing with the great ones, they don't think about losing. And that may sound like, oh, yeah, I don't think about losing either. Yes, you do. But the great ones, it's always, hey, we're going to win this game. This is what we're going to do. So they move, they talk in a different way constantly. But Brandon, this is also about the hope that Tom Brady gave thousands of NFL players throughout the year. He was number 199. Don't go in there and complain about your draft position. Do the work. He wasn't brought back to the Patriots, an organization literally he built with a coach's resume he built. We can get into that if you want to later, but don't worry about it. It's true, right? And he still was winning. I mean, he gave everyone hope. Ryan Jensen's just one of the thousands of players that are better because of Tom Brady. That's how good he was. Not only did he give hope, but he made thousands of other players in the NFL better. Name me somebody else who's done that.
That is true. Our Brady Quinn talked about that as well. But let's get into it. You just mentioned it. You might as well share it a little bit with the class here.
Hey, I'll tell you what. There's no question that Bill Belichick's a fantastic coach. It was an honor to play against him in my 10 years. I had multiple chances to do that. And Tom Brady's the reason why Bill Belichick's the coach of the New England Patriots. I mean, Bill Belichick without Tom Brady, that's who got fired from the Browns. It's okay, Bill. It really is. But Tom Brady was the difference maker. You can ask any coach who ever called him. He did things that no one else could do, saw things. He was the football AI before AI. I mean, he saw things that other people didn't see. Even this year, #1 in getting the football off at just under 2.5 seconds. So Tom Brady's excellence is what created tremendous opportunities, the Tyree throw, all of these things. How about the comeback? You know, down 28-3. Nobody else is doing that. Bill, come on, Bill. How's it been since he left, Bill? Tremendous respect for Bill Belichick. Absolutely Hall of Fame coach. And he will be one because of Tom Brady.
That is history that a lot of youngsters would not be able to see. I'm curious, Ryan, you have little ones at home. I'm curious, what would you tell your grandkids who Tom Brady was and what he meant to the NFL over those 23 seasons?
Tom Brady was the greatest player in NFL history with the most championships, and he raised the level of competition for even the Hall of Famers around him. Guys I played with Peyton Manning as well as Ben Roethlisberger, they were very aware of what Tom Brady was doing. In the AFC, every quarterback believed that they had to beat Tom Brady, and they probably did if they wanted to go to the Super Bowl. So I'll tell my kids he was the greatest football player to ever make it, and he won the most. And pay attention to his golf swing. Don't be a quarterback, be a golfer. That's what I'll tell my grandkids.
I don't know, that match chip-in shot, you know, a couple years ago, that's something that's legendary because I can't do it. I don't know if you got it in your bag. I don't know if you got that, but, you know, that's something legendary.
I'll find the club. I'll find the club this year.
All right, Ryan Harris, as always, breaking it down. Appreciate you joining us on that breaking news. TB12, calling it a career, my friend. Appreciate it.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.